And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Around gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
But you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
VSRL Set Truck Series live tonight. Bluegrass Stakes at Kentucky. 130 laps, 195 miles. I have a special guest up in here for our pre-race here tonight. Ryan Depew is going to join alongside of me, and we're going to talk a little bit about OrangeSpeed SRT and learn a little bit more about these guys that made this race possible here tonight. Ryan, what can you tell me a little bit? You talk about the innovation and the values. This is a values-driven organization, and you're committed to excellence, integrity, and the innovation of really making yourself a better person. Tell us a little more about that.
Well, thanks, Bradley. Thanks for having us. Yeah, OrangeSpeed SRT is just, it's the world's first values-driven sim racing team. And what that really means is we align everything we do with a set of values, and for us that's respect, tenacity, sportsmanship, and professionalism, and that just really influences how we go about the job of being sim racers. We want to affect whatever communities we're part of in a positive way, and just positively influence the world of sim racing.
We've got several different drivers out here. Morgan Cook is an inaugural season champion and a 2-time race winner this season. Garrett Helmlinger, founder of the VSRL Truck Series, and he's a 3-time winner. Sean Langton, we've talked a lot about him lately, a 6-time race winner here at VSRL. Ross Phillips, 2-time race winner, and Kyle Stewart, who's been looking really solid in that 41 this year, currently 5th in points in the playoff contention, so you've got a great group surrounding you. Is that kind of what it takes, is just surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals to help kind of better yourself?
Well, it certainly helps to have a team, and when you have a team of people that they put the team first, then good things happen. So we, this whole sim racing thing, sim racing team thing, we kind of fell into. Funny story. So I was running a what was it? It was the, can I say IndyCar? I'm going to say IndyCar.
Yeah.
So it was the IndyCar series they were running at the Daytona Oval. And after the race, I did not see a parked Morgan Cook and ran right over him, right into the back of him. And that's how I met Morgan Cook. And not that long afterward, we're communicating and decided, well, we'd form this team. And then OrangeSpeed just started getting more and more interest, and more people wanted to join, and it was it's a fun experience to share data, help each other get better, strategize before a race, during a race, and all that. Being part of a team is excellent experience.
Well, I think that's the same kind of mindset here at VSRL. There's always room to grow, and OrangeSpeed SRT's mission is to provide the ultimate sim racing experience for its drivers, crew, sponsors, affiliates, and supporters. If you would like to check them out, OrangeSpeed.net. I'll put a QR code up here for you up on the screen. We're hitting too many buttons. There it is right there on the right-hand side of your screen. You can check them out. OrangeSpeed.net. Be your best. And I would like to thank you, Ryan Depew, for making all this possible. VRX Simulations, OrangeSpeed, VSRL Set, all you guys, great group. And yeah, Morgan Cook, I'd like to thank him for making this all possible. We ran the guy over and he's still had a conversation with you.
Yeah, it was fun, and now he's on the pole for tonight's race too. So, way to go, Morgan.
Well, good luck out there tonight to all the OrangeSpeed guys and everybody out here on this grid as we're wrapping up qualifying slowly. We got about a minute 57 before we take grid. Ryan, question: Kentucky Speedway, why this track? It's a fast 1.5 mile track, green walls. It's been revamped a little bit here, but why did you select this venue for tonight's sponsorship?
It's a good question. So I actually used to live in Kentucky and went to this speedway for a couple of the old IndyCar races there and thought it was awesome. So just having that personal connection back to Kentucky, thought that made sense to sponsor this race.
It makes a lot of sense in my brain. We don't have any cool racetracks here in Ohio. The closest one I would say is the road course in mid-Ohio, but I would rather go to Bristol. Kentucky is another one. And look from the outside looking in, the SRL has put on a great show. We've kept our caution average below 3 this season. I see more great racing here tonight in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. Got to look after those tires. We've got a double stinting of tires that got to pick which stint that's going to be to double stint those because the tire sets are limited. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing how the guys do.
All right, well, 43 seconds left before we take the grid. 130 laps, 195 miles, race 7 out of 14, approaching that chase time. Ryan Depew, I'd like to thank you again for coming up here in the broadcast booth with us, and stick around. Maybe we'll pull you back up here. We might have a caution or two. We'll get to talk to you again.
All right, happy to do it.
He is right there. The guys behind the scenes making things happen here at VSRL. Bluegrass Stakes 175 at Kentucky. Getting set up to take our grid here in about 9 seconds. Morgan Cook going to start on the pole. Bring that up for you real quick, that driver info. We got a qualifying button, but I don't know where it is right now. All right, good enough. Here tonight, air temperature 65 degrees. Track temperature really similar to that, 68. This track will rubber up very quickly. You're going to see a middle to low line probably in 1 and 2, and a late exit in 3 and 4 to get that run down the tri-oval as they enter turn 1. A curved pit road. The entire front stretch here. It's all curved all the way down to the bottom. And it's a very fast racetrack. Geico restart zone. You can see that printed up on the wall. Massively painted there on the green walls. This track definitely stands out. And as the sun goes down, that track temp going to drop a little bit more with each lap that goes by. And I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, here on VSPEED. Hope you guys hit the subscribe button before we go to grid, so you never miss a single race here in the Monday Night Set Truck Series. Morgan Cook up there on the pole. Let's get that grid up there for you and show that 30.295 for the 51 machine of Morgan Cook. Larry Dickerson outside the pole. Good start for him here tonight in the 69 machine. And then row number 2 is going to be Kyle Stewart. We mentioned the OrangeSpeed guy. Another one up there in the top 5. Nicholas Pressey going to start in the 4th position. Row number 3, Mark Math in the 199 with Dakota Floyd. He needs a recovery. In the 6th spot, Luke Daniels going to be 7th spot with Justin Ritchie in 8th. And rounding out your top 10, another OrangeSpeed, well, 2 OrangeSpeed cars, maybe. No, just one. It's the other Sean in the 34 and 10th spot. There's Ross Phillips in 9th. 11th spot going to belong to Garrett Helmlinger, Dylan Bryant in 12th. 13th, Sean Langton. Brian Hennings in 14th. Chris Klein, 15th position. Adam Tips, 16th. 17th will be Thad Miller with Todd Cleveland in 18th. 19th spot, Joseph Selig. Brian Watkins, 20th. And rounding out your field, I believe for cars that have actually gridded right now, is Nicholas Fontenot. Dan Witt not electing to take the field right now, might be starting from the pits. So here we are set up to take the green. Truck sitting down there on that inside on the pit wall, and I love this staggered start. I always love the way that they set these trucks up on pit road. Here at Charlotte as well, they do this offset start. All these trucks angled beautifully, and look at that gold accent on that blue and white Southeast Tutoring machine. We already got through the grid. They haven't even went out on the track yet. I was working too fast tonight. Well, for everybody here at VSRL, I hope you enjoyed tonight's action as we get doubled up. Now we're rolling. That's what we wanted to see. That's the excitement we're looking for. Morgan Cook actually a winner in the iRacing official Daytona 500 race. He's got a little backing, a little experience to back that up, and you know, everybody here, VSRL, all the teams, there's a variety of them. We've got OrangeSpeed, VRX, 25 PR, ECR. So many different race teams that go behind this to get a full field of 22 cars out there tonight. So we get lined up for 130 laps. Down to the bottom for the 51. Larry Dickerson on the outside. Ace Truck's going to make that hard left-hand turn. No, it's not. Lights are still on it. So we're going to take an extra pace lap just to make sure that everything gets squared away. And they might have been giving me a little extra time to talk to Ryan Depew, who did an excellent job up here. But like anything, compared to that to OrangeSpeed, there's always room to grow, and we're going to grow one caution lap here. So we roll into turn 1. Angelman Foundation on the right-hand side. Southeast Tutoring on the left side. Pay attention to that 24 truck. He's needed a rebound all season long. We're definitely doubled up now, nose to tail. See that 24 Dakota Floyd heating up those tires. Trying to get a little scrub in them before they take turn 1. How about Mark Math starting up there in that top 5? Let's see if he can capitalize on this. Great track position. Kentucky is a place to pass. Plenty of different multi-grooves. But we're going to find out which one's the best here running early on this nice cold 68-degree surface. Now we're making the left-hand turn. Coming to the Guy Coat start. And green flag is out. Set Truck Series Monday night. Morgan Cook leads him into turn 1. And to lead lap 1, Morgan Cook gets through. Ross Phillips under fire here. He's got Mark Math on the inside. This is actually Mark Math under fire for the 5th position. See the Pro Line purple and black machine. That's a sharp-looking ride coming off of turn 2, and Matt's going to lose a spot as they go down the back straightaway. That outside looks like it's a little bit faster. Now the 41 is Stewart to the inside of Larry Dickerson. Not able to get it done there. Has to fall back in line really quickly. That 5 truck, wow, Ross Phillips moving through this field quick. Started all the way back in 9th position, has worked his way up to the 2nd spot already. But looking back, he passes Kyle Stewart on the outside, gets around Larry Dickerson. We almost have 3 wide behind him. And a little contact. Math gets around Stewart, the 34. John Bounty in the wall. Cars scramble everywhere to get around it. That's going to break away this top, and then the 24 Floyd gets involved. No caution yet. But this field is spread way out. This starts up here in the front. They're running 3 wide, 4 wide even. Math gets involved. He gets set back, so we're going to rewind this. Here's the 3 wide coming off of 4. And as they go into turn 1, Math gets up there on the outside. The 41 as Stewart just touches him. That sends Mark Math back into the 34. And then again here, the 24 tries to go low. And it's just chaos behind him. The 28 does a heck of a job to miss that. We get caught back up. Math falls all the way back to the 19th position. And the spread on this field is over 8 seconds. That top 6, 7 cars, Dylan Bryant up there in that mix now in 6th position. They haven't left each other. That 5 truck hasn't been able to work the outside like he did the rest of these guys. He passed 7 cars to get up here. Now it's starting to make a little bit of a run on the exit of turn 4. Going into 1, still side by side, Morgan Cook, Ross Phillips, Larry Dickerson. There's Justin Ritchie in the 55 on the outside. Oh, 3 wide here for the lead. Almost 4 wide as Larry Dickerson pokes his nose in there. Still up here on the outside is Ritchie, the 5. Ross Phillips nabs it away. And Morgan Cook's going to lose 2 positions in 1 corner. Falls up in line into 3rd. New leader here. And Ritchie comes down with a great head of steam coming off of turn 4. Can he carry it into 1 and hold it down there? Not going to be able to do it. Had the lead for a glimpse. Phillips holds on. Ritchie 2nd. Cook, who's fallen back a little bit. Now under fire from Dylan Bryant on the outside. The pole sitter sticking to that inside in 3 and 4. A little scrape of the wall there from Justin Ritchie as they exit turn 4. But let me show you in context. These guys are starting to race back up here. Langton has worked his way back up. He caught up to the 69 of Larry Dickerson. Still a lot of racing left to be done, and there's the 34 machine. Sean Bounty, who did not have the start to this race that he would have hoped for. He's going to be scored 1 lap down with a lot of left side, a lot of front end damage. That truck's got paint peeling off from pretty much all 4 corners. He's going to press it out, see what happens. He could still pick up a few positions. And a change for the lead. Justin Ritchie gets around Ross Phillips, who falls all the way back here. 9/10 of a second back. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to the 5. Through rewind here about a lap and a half, and the 5 truck gets it. That's what happened. He got into the outside wall and lost all that momentum. So it was actually the 5 that hit the wall on the exit of turn 4. So he falls all the way back to the second. Well, he's 1 second back in the second position. Under fire now from Nicholas Pressey. Morgan Cook back to 4th position, and he's got a ton of cars behind him. Sean Langton, Larry Dickerson. And Langton worked his way up through the field. He started back in the 13th position. He's in 6th, and he's looking to pass for 4th and 5th. Side by side, the 51 holding the 69 machine down on the outside. Dickerson able to get the nose out there. Not able to break away yet. This might be opening up a door for Langton, though. The 51 of Cook knows that, so he backs off and lets the 69 machine of Dickerson go. Now he's got to defend against Langton. Down the back straightaway. Dan Witt here on the inside. We want to talk about a guy that's been fast moving. This is for the 8th position. And Dan Witt started all the way back in 22nd spot. Maybe a little bit of help from what happened with Mark Math. Got a lot of positions all at one time. But there he is. In the top 10. Gets around the 3 of Brian. Brian Hennings. Turnaround week for him. And Witt clips the wall down the backstretch. This guy's going to have to be more careful with those brushes with the wall. You saw what happened to Ross Phillips as he falls back to the 3rd spot. Nicholas Pressey trying to chase down Justin Ritchie. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of these guys right now. For the 55, he hasn't led a lot of laps today. He's led 7 of them. He hasn't led a lot this season, but today, 7 laps in the books as we're 17 out of 130. And I'd say about lap 39, these guys are all going to come down pit road. 4 tire stops. We do have the limited tire sets, but if I'm going to gamble, I'm going to take my first 4 on pit stop number 1. If I'm Justin Ritchie, I'm going to run away. I'm going to get as far away from this pack of cars as I possibly can. You see that lead dwindling down a little bit. Pressey running a lower line in 3 and 4. And he's still kind of under fire from Ross Phillips, so Phillips showed a lot of speed, might have burned up his stuff very early in this race. There's a guy that's probably saving his tires for the later half of this run. Started up on the pole. Now starting to make the ground back up on Larry Dickerson, and he's taking Sean Langton with him. Right now sitting in the 5th spot. Todd Cleveland back here in 8th. This group of cars starting to accordion back together after that early mix-up on lap 13. Or lap 5, actually. Look at that, Dan Witt starting to put the pressure on the back of Langton. Goes down to the inside. Can Witt hold it down there and get a 2 for 1? He doesn't that time by. Very hard to carry that momentum out of the exits. Now a pass for the 5th position. Morgan Cook. Sean Langton. Side by side going into 3. Langton drives it in deep, trying to do the slide job. Morgan Cook trying not to allow that. See if he can get a run on the outside. He does not. Maybe a crossover. Gets right up on the bumper. As they go into 1, he was glued to it. The lone machine. Larry Dickerson in the 4th spot right now. Has no drafting help. Ross Phillips probably a good 2 seconds at least ahead of him. And the guy that's checking out right now, still your leader. 13 laps led, Justin Ritchie. He's led half of the laps so far. Looking to get it done. Breakout race here for the 55. As we approach the second half of this season, Ritchie really needs this win. Check back in with the 41 machine. He started in the 3rd spot. He's all the way back to 16th after that mix-up early in this race. Somehow the 3 truck of Dylan Bryant is a lap down. I'm not sure what happened to the 3 machine. But Bryant was on the lead lap just a moment ago, running up there in that top 5. Not sure if he short pitted these guys trying to get an advantage, but he is pulling away from Kyle Stewart, so maybe he comes down into his box at 6.8 seconds. He might have taken some fuel. So again, this race presented by OrangeSpeed, the Bluegrass Stakes at Kentucky, OrangeSpeed SRT. And we'll throw that graphic back up there again for you. Scan that QR code if you'd like to find out more about OrangeSpeed SRT. You can learn more about the world's first values-driven sim racing team by visiting orangespeed.net and be your best. 26 laps into this thing. There's your top 10. We go through the field here. We're going to start in the 10th position with Luke Daniels, who had one heck of a dodge, missing Mark Math and missing the 24. Dakota Floyd and all the chaos that ensued. Dakota Floyd all the way back to the 18th position. There's Dan Witt under fire for the 9th spot as they are side by side into turn 1. Before Rents, before Sales still on that truck. Moving up to the 8th position. There's Brian Hennings. He's having a quiet night tonight. Started back in 14th. He's actually working on your pole sitter, Morgan Cook, for the 7th spot. Morgan Cook's lost quite a few positions. But recovery. There's only one way to go from here. Morgan Cook has been in this situation before. I'm sure it'll turn out just fine for him. Todd Cleveland. There's your 6th place driver. Probably our biggest gainer here tonight. Started back in 18th. Now in 6th. Larry Dickerson holding on to that top 5, but he just gets passed by Sean Langton for the 4th spot. Some of these guys look like they might have burned up their tires early in this run. Langton really saving the stuff for the later half. But he's got to chase down a very fast Nicholas Pressey, who does get passed for the 2nd position by Ross Phillips. Remember, Pressey has won a race here in this league. He's looking to capitalize on that momentum, running up here in the top 3 tonight. Ross Phillips in 2nd spot, was challenging the leader a moment ago. Now cutting down that lead Justin Ritchie has. It's at 1.4 seconds. It was 1.7 a moment ago. And then right there, the guy that's leading this thing, Justin Ritchie, 20 laps led. 1.3 seconds now. That time is dwindling down, and we approach pit stops. Definitely maybe a clutch in this thing. Let's listen in. On board with Ritchie right now. You saw the short pit that happened by the 3. Look how spread out this field is. We've almost got cars looping around the whole track. Go back here to the 11th position. Adam Tips breaking the top 10 actually is Garrett Helmlinger in front of him. So the 21 with that fade into purple. I like that. That's a good looking paint job. Adam Tips right behind him, running in the 11th position. Started back in 16th, and Tips just needs to have a finish. He's been caught up in a lot of wrecks this season. The 54 truck, that team needs to turn it around. Get a win under their belt would really help, but a top 10 would be great too. So the 54 just looking to put it all together here this week. Dan Witt falling back to the 12th position. Talked about him a little bit ago. He was up in the top 5, and that little brush with the outside wall, it looks like it's starting to hurt him. Thad Miller in 13th position. He's got Brian Watkins, who was really competitive there last week. Finds himself back in the 14th spot. Nicholas Fontenot, the 337, in 15th right now. Some of these guys look like they're struggling a little bit to go around this place. Track's really starting to tighten up, and we can bring up that track tip. It's went up 1 degree since we began this race. It's only going to get hotter from here. Joseph Selig back here in the 12 machine, 16th position. And then unfortunate, there's the 24 Dakota Floyd. All that damage. Trying to salvage this day. He started in 6th. He's back to 17th. Still on the lead lap, so there still is some hope. The last guy on the lead lap is the 41 of Kyle Stewart. Tough break for this guy. Him and Dakota Floyd both starting up there in the top 10 find themselves well outside of it, 16th and 15th respectively. So that lead has dwindled down enough that the 55 of Justin Ritchie decides to bring it down pit road on lap 35. That'll put Ross Phillips up in the lead. Live Truck had that narrowed down to under a second before the 55 hit pit road. That's going to force the hand of the rest of these guys. Probably look for the 5 truck to bring it down pit road this time by. 94 of Presley's going to stay out. The 8 of Langton stays out. Presley going to lead a lap that time by. Sean Langton about 1.9 seconds behind the 94 of Presley. I would look for both these cars to come down pit road this time by. There he's hitting the clutch pedal. Is he trying to save another lap? Nope, he's bringing it down. There's the 94. There's the 8. There's the 69, the 44. So we've got Pressey, Langton, Dickerson, and Cleveland coming down pit road. The 51 of Cook. Luke Daniels down there as well. Dan Witt. Ross Phillips getting back out on the track as this all cycles out. It's going to be interesting to see. Did the 55 of Justin Ritchie do a good enough job on pit road? He did not. He lost a ton of time to the 5 machine. Phillips, Ritchie both come down and get 4 tires. 12.3 seconds though in the pit stall for Ross Phillips. And when this all cycles through, I believe your new leader is going to be the 5 truck. There's Pressey coming back out onto the track. There goes Mark Math, but here comes Ross Phillips to pass away for the lead on lap 38 out of 130. So again, There's the QR code. The Sim Racing Team Leadership Group is live on LinkedIn. If you're involved in any kind of leadership activities for your own sim racing team, come check them out. Help them build a professional community a little bit larger. We talk more about OrangeSpeed SRT. That's a great group of guys. VSRL, VSPEED, all coming together to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage here at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. Ross Phillips, he's going to lead another one. And that's your leader as they go into turn one, getting ready to put Mark Math a lap down. He gets out ahead of Justin Ritchie and Nicholas Pressey, who Pressey actually gets around Justin Ritchie. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on lap 40. Let you know a little bit more about our sponsors and all the things that make this league possible. We'll be back live on VSPEED right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lionel using the bottom set car closing in behind.
And here comes Lionel. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
The world gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back here live, Bluegrass Stakes at Kentucky. 130 laps, 45 laps completed, and race 7 out of 14. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and if you're just joining us, we've had several different lead changes thus far. 5 of them to be exact. The guy that came out on top after all those pit stops is Ross Phillips in the 5 machine, pulling out ahead 3 seconds, and Sean Langton has worked his way around just now, got around the 94 of Nicholas Pressey to take away the second position, trying to chase down Ross Phillips, who's 3 seconds ahead of him. Mighty big gap to take away. Still plenty of time to do it. One of the other leaders in this race, the 55 of Justin Ritchie, had a little bit slower pit road than everybody. Finds himself fighting to stay into the top 5 now. And inside the top 5, you've got the 69 of Larry Dickerson, who has not led any laps tonight, but has maintained that top 5 position with Todd Cleveland right behind him. There's a mover right there, the 21. You got a new stamp on the side of that machine. OrangeSpeed logos all over it, and the 21 looking really hot here down the back straightaway. He's going to take the 28 of Luke Daniels around Dylan Bryant, who short pitted this field and came down for fuel only earlier in this race. Now finds himself in the 10th position. The side-by-side battle here for 9th. Daniels going to get around, put Bryant back to 10th. A lot of different things have happened. We almost had a caution there at the very beginning of this race on lap 4 into 5. Mark Math gets involved. The outside wall with the 34 of Sean Bounty, who's back in 21st. Mark Math back in 22nd. Then unfortunately collects the 41 of Kyle Stewart, the 24 of Dakota Floyd. Floyd, probably the best recovery out of all these guys. He's running in the 15th spot. All cycled through the pole sitter. Morgan Cook started dropping probably around lap 12 or so. Couldn't hold on to the lead. Had to fight off a hard charging Ross Phillips for a while. Nicholas Pressey and Justin Ritchie started working on him. He just burned up the tires there in the 51, but he's probably learned something, a thing or two from that run as we approach lap 50. 7th position here for the 51 of Morgan Cook. We're fast approaching that halfway point. Phillips' lead still at 3.3 seconds. And that is a sharp looking machine. I love that paint job. I might be a little biased because it's purple. That is a fine looking machine out there on that track. And it looks even better with no one around him. Oh, Ross Phillips right now dominating this race in the later stages as we approach the halfway point. The 5 different lead changes that we talked about at the beginning of this race, they went stagnant, and Phillips takes away the lead. Sean Langton still 3.5 back. Can he catch up to Ross Phillips before the end of this thing? That's going to be a tall order. Larry Dickerson works his way up into the top 3. He gets around Pressey. Pressey under fire big time here for the 3rd spot, 4th position. Cleveland goes to the outside. Cleveland got around Ritchie. So another shuffle here for the top 5. Pressey falls back to the 7th position. Justin Ritchie able to get around him as well. Todd Cleveland up to 4th. Larry Dickerson leading the way, and they've got to go catch Sean Langton, who's 2.6 seconds ahead of these guys. Langton's actually cut that lead down a little bit, 3.2 seconds. He's catching up to the 199 machine of Mark Math. Phillips is definitely within visual range. That 8. Langton, with all the wins he's gotten this season, looking to try to do it again. That time around, Ross Phillips just a little bit faster than the 8. About 0.2 of a second. A little bit of passing going on back here. The 24, Dakota Floyd gets around Dan Witt to put that 24 back up in the top 10. Been a long recovery here for the 24 all race long. But Nicholas Pressey falling off big time, back to the 8th position now. Luke Daniels gets around him. Now, looks like he's going to get passed by the 24. The Dakota Floyd up to 8th. Not sure what's going on with the 94, but he's losing a ton of ground here. Ritchie gets passed by the 28 machine. Another position. Richie, who led some laps there a moment ago. And that's the difference in clean air. That's what the truck can do. It get tight. You can overdrive it really easily. And it doesn't look like that outside line's working like it was at the beginning of this race. Track temperature still at 69, but it's rubbered up. Doing a great job maintaining this gap as Ross Phillips goes around for lap 59 to start. 3.6 seconds, and you thought maybe he was using up his stuff out there all by himself. Doesn't appear to be the case. Within the next 5 to 6 laps or so, you're going to see some more guys peeling it back down pit road, and Nicholas Pressey is going to be the first of those takers. Little short pit action for the 94. Tire pit stop there for the 94 Pressey. 14.8 seconds in the box, though. It's just not going to cut it. Some of these guys running 12.8. 12.3 through the box the last time for the 5 of Ross Phillips, and that's how he got out to this big lead over Sean Langton. The rest of the field outside looking in pretty much from lap 40 on. Ross Phillips is just checked out. Back here to the 3rd position, Todd Cleveland working on the back of Larry Dickerson. Dickerson's able to break away a little bit, maintain that 3rd position. Morgan Cook starting to bring back the steam. He's in the 5th spot. Let's see if he can get up here and challenge for this podium. How about that recovery, though? The 24 truck of Dakota Floyd with all that damage, and he's got damage on it again. It was looking cleaner earlier. That right side was completely torn off that vehicle. Up to 7th position, and he looks like he might be able to pass the 28 of Luke Daniels here momentarily. Great drive for the 24 team. But off to a rocky start here tonight. Back up there in the 7th spot. So this field's quieted down quite a lot. Nicholas Fontenot in the 9th spot. Thad Miller in the top 10. There's a 13 machine running in 10th place. Daniels is going to bring it down pit road. Scheduled green flag pit stops on lap 65. Going to force this field in. First of those takers was a little bit shorter than I would have predicted as the 94. Nicholas Pressey brings it down pit road. Phillips still out there on the track as he goes around the 28. 3.4 seconds still the gap between the 5 and the 8 machine of Langton. At this pace, I don't know that Sean Langton has anything for the 5 of Phillips. We're going to find out on this next stint. Be a combination of conserving tires and seeing what you got when the dust settles. These guys have checked out so far from the rest of the field, though. I take tires every chance I got. See how far I can stretch that lead. If Langton would be able to get down pit road a little bit faster than Phillips this time around, he could really cut that deficit down, make it a little bit more manageable for the late half of this race. You know, with 20 to go or so, a lot easier to overcome 1.5 seconds. 3.6 though, and growing, that's going to be tough. Tall order here for the 8 machine. Larry Dickerson still out there on the track. 30 laps on this stint. The longest out there on the track is 32 laps. 33, actually, with Thad Miller. 35 laps if you include Mark Math. Math's probably not burning as much fuel. It looked like that thing had a little bit of damage. Pretty cleaned up now. Go back up here to your leader. Coming up on lap 70. For the 5 of Ross Phillips, 33 laps led in a dominating race thus far for the 5. He hasn't looked back since he took the lead. He's got tough competition back here with Langton. 2 seconds back from that, Larry Dickerson. These gaps have been maintained for quite some time. Side by side here, that's the 94 machine of Pressey, who actually hit the pit road a little early, getting by the 69 of Larry Dickerson. Those tires are balanced back out after Dickerson and Morgan Cook come down pit road. Todd Cleveland falling back a little bit. Cook's up to the 4th position now. And there comes Morgan Cook down pit road. John Langton down as well. Ross Phillips, your leader down pit road. Larry Dickerson's going to stay out one more lap. Todd Cleveland's going to join. Dakota Floyd out there as well. I'd look to see Larry Dickerson, Todd Cleveland bring it down pit road this time by. That would be the smart move. You don't want to let those new tires run over you. Dickerson's going to stay out one more lap. Every lap that the 69 machine stays out, that's another chance for guys like Morgan Cook, Sean Langton, Justin Ritchie. Ritchie gets ahead of the 51 of Morgan Cook, who might have had pit road problems. Langton might have had some issues too. I don't know, we'll have to see how this all cycles out. Dickerson's still out there on the track. And the 5 of Phillips. What is going on with the 5 right now? Okay, the 5 probably didn't take tires. That's what I'm going to guess here. don't know, something's going on with the 5 of Phillips. He might be running out of fuel. The out of fuel might have got him. He's coming back down pit road. The 5 had this race locked up. He hits the outside wall. We're going to go back and see what happened to this machine. He comes off of pit road. The right side of that thing looked pretty clean. Let's go back and take a look at this, because this is not a good situation here for Ross Phillips. Comes down into turn 3. Runs up on the back of the 17. Oh, and it snaps right. It gets really loose and hits the outside wall. So that's what happened to the 5 of Phillips. And that's a race ender for him. Comes back down pit road, gets his fast repair, but drops all the way back to the 18th position. Now being scored a lap down. Joseph Selig would be the lucky dog. We're talking about 12-second gap between him and Selig. And that puts Nicholas Pressey, the short pitter, in the lead by about 4.5 over Dylan Bryant, who also short pitted these boys a little bit. Bryant's been on a different strategy this whole race. He came down pit road at about lap 15 or so. This is the guy right here that I think we need to worry about catching up to you. It was Ross Phillips' race until that mistake, and now Sean Langton looking to take over command on lap 78. Pressey leads that time by. He's got 5 of them led so far. All right, so there it is again. You've got it up on the screen. QR code for OrangeSpeed SRT. Check them out. The OrangeSpeed SRT Endurance team was runner-up in the split of the 24-hour race at Daytona. Morgan, Garrett, Sean, and Ross all split the driving duties, while Kyle and Ryan handled the strategy. That's what it takes. It takes a team effort. There's always room to grow. And OrangeSpeed SRT's mission is to provide the ultimate sim racing experience for its drivers, crews, spotters, affiliates, and supporters. Check them out. They're live on LinkedIn right there. If you have any leadership style activities for your own sim racing team, make sure you hit them up to help grow and build that professional community. So here we are, lap 81, coming up on 82. Nicholas Pressey getting chased down by Sean Langton. Morgan Cook back up there in third. Justin Ritchie under fire big time. But these are some lap down cars. This is the 3 car. No, actually, these guys are for position. The 3 of Dylan Bryant getting passed by the 28 and the 55. And that's what 10 laps on tires looks like through 1 and 2. What a guy that's been sneaking around this place, and I haven't even mentioned his name, Chris Klein. He's been sneaking through through the field. He's got a little right side damage, but the 18 Beaver Toyota machine in the 8th spot right now. Lap 83, that's about where I'd want to be right now. Side by side here for the 4th position. There's the 5 truck of Ross Phillips trying to get back on the lead lap. Trying to do it the old-fashioned way. Phillips going to have to be careful. Remember, that's where he got loose earlier and hit the outside wall, but He's since got that paint scheme fixed back up. Side by side, Justin Ritchie, Luke Daniels for the 4th position still. Dan Witt looking to make it almost 3 wide there as they exit turn 2. And out of nowhere, Larry Dickerson just takes advantage of it. Larry Dickerson on much fresher tires than these guys. He's passing them like they're sitting still. He's only got a 5-second gap from him to Sean Langton, who gets around Nicholas Pressey for the lead. The new leader that time by. I'm interested to see if Larry Dickerson can chase these guys down, because there's 5-lap difference between him and Sean Langton. Massive difference between him and Pressey. He's definitely got the speed that he could go get these guys. There it is, Sean Langton coming across to lead another lap. He's led 3 of them thus far. Pulling away from Nicholas Pressey, about 2 seconds, 2.5 over Morgan Cook. And Larry Dickerson, who's trimmed down that lead a little bit each lap, 4.9 seconds. As the laps count down, we get to the later half of this race. We are coming up on the to-go marks. About 42 laps left as they come around this time by. Morgan Cook on the outside of Nicholas Pressey for the 2nd position as they cross the line. The 51 going to take away that position. And Larry Dickerson going to be the next guy to get around the 94 if it happens. Luke Daniels back here in the 5th spot with Dan Witt. We saw that battle a little bit ago. And Larry Dickerson just flew by on those fresh tires. But it's Sean Langton, Morgan Cook, Pressey, Dickerson, Daniels, your top 5. Top 10 goes Dan Witt, Todd Cleveland, Justin Ritchie, Dylan Bryant, and Chris Klein. Chris Klein still holding on, but side by side here for the 10th position. Dakota Floyd down to the bottom. There's Dylan Bryant. Floyd could get back up here into the 8th position. Excuse me, 9th, but that's still 2 for 1 and 1 and 2. Well, he's got a lot of catching up to do to Justin Ritchie. We're talking about 2.9 seconds to the 8th position driver. Totally doable here, though. Got a massive difference of about 10 laps on his tires, and that's helping this 24, really. With all that damage on that right side, he's going to have some kind of catalyst to get him up there into this top 5. Hitting a little bit later than the rest of this field, that might be the way to do it. Morgan Cook looking to get back at what's his. He gets around Larry Dickerson up to the 2nd position now for the 51. .3 seconds as they come across the line. That time by pretty much identical lap times between Langton and Morgan Cook. 32.285 for the 8 of Langton, a 32.272 for Morgan Cook. And hey, what? Larry Dickerson. He ran a little bit faster than all of them. 31.8. He's looking to get back up there and get to that second position. Five truck gets a little bit loose there on the inside of the 69. Phillips not letting the 69 machine go. Five of Phillips still has to get up there to Brian Hennings. There he goes down to the bottom now for the 69. He gets around and clears him. See if he has anything for the 51 as they cross over on the exit of 2. Phillips making it really tough for the 69 of Dickerson to get by him. Now down to the bottom for second position. Dickerson back up there. Those guys are still racing side by side, but they've got that lead down to 2.6 seconds. And they're pulling that 5 of Phillips up there for the lucky dog spot. He's got to get around Brian Hennings to earn that right. There he goes, down to the bottom, gets around him. So first car a lap down, goes to the 5 of Phillips, looking to recover this race. Sean Langton sees those guys getting a little bit closer every lap. That time by Larry Dickerson was a 10th faster than the 8 of Langton. Let's see what it's like this time by. 32.326 with a 32.280. Second place a little bit faster that time. Langton is being caught. Well, before we have our green flag pit stops, it'll be the last round here. Did anyone save their tires? Did they have an extra set? Do they have enough sets to pit every single time and take tires? We're going to find out here on VSPEED. Uninterrupted coverage after this commercial break.
Here comes Lionel, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Bluegrass Stakes at Kentucky. 103 laps complete, and we're coming up on green flag pit stops. These guys starting to cycle through. Morgan Cook coming down pit road now as we speak. John Langton coming down as well. Speaking of OrangeSpeed, there it is. OrangeSpeed SRT. Scan that QR code. 5 drivers here at OrangeSpeed. Morgan Cook, Garrett Helmlinger, Sean Langton, Ross Phillips, and Kyle Stewart. This event here tonight. And the 8's down and away. Larry Dickerson still out there on the track. He had a lot fresher tires than these guys the last time. Can he stretch this out a little bit? I would pit if I were him. Got a lot of top 5 cars that have already hit pit road. There comes the 69 down pit road now. Cleveland's going to come around to take the lead. Oh, he's going to go down pit road with him. Dakota Floyd's going to stay out. Maybe leads a lap that time by. Nope. Yep, he got it. Just over Larry Dickerson to come across the line. So Dakota Floyd going to be your leader. Kyle Stewart, who had a rough start to this race. He got that machine repaired. In second as they cycle through. Left side's going up on the 69 of Dickerson. Ross Phillips going to be in the 3rd spot. He's just running it out. I think he got his lap back, so he's trying like hell to stay up here in this top 5. It's going to be a lot of work, though. It's after these pit stops. All cycling through. A late race caution for anybody that was really far back in this field that decided to save tires. Got Adam Tips, who took, looks like a fuel-only stop. He was 0.9 seconds in his box, maybe just topping off with fuel. Ross Phillips, who went 3.4 in his box, he's up to 3rd. He's just trying to get a recovery in. Hold on for dear life in the 5 car. Nicholas Pressey to the inside for the 3rd spot right now. Boyd is 35 laps into this stint. He's got to be getting low on fuel, praying for a caution here. Caution does come out. Boyd's going to look like a genius. Try to push it as many laps as he can. Nope, he's going to bring it down this time by. That'll pretty much finish up the cycle of green flag pit stops. Last guy yet to pit who's getting past right now is the 5 of Phillips. There comes Morgan Cook up on the outside of the 5. But with 20 to go, Nicholas Pressey, 11 laps led here tonight, finds himself 1.7 seconds ahead of Sean Langton. Plenty of time left for the 8 to catch him. That lead really hasn't shrunk down that much. 1.48, 1.5, it stayed about there for a while. Langton was about 4/10 faster last time by. Let's see what he gets this time around. .30.8 for Nicholas Pressey, a 30.2 for Sean Langton, and he is definitely catching the 94. This could be Sean Langton's race to lose. We look at the gap between him and Morgan Cook. They're on the same tire stints. Cook is 2.1 seconds back. It looks like Langton's going to pass on the outside here for the lead with 17 laps to go. New leader. Well, lead changes and 0 cautions with a field of 22 cars out here tonight. Sean Langton finds himself in the lead. Ross Phillips, unfortunate series of events for him here tonight. Really was the race for him. I thought he was going to pull it off. Finds himself back in 17th spot. And, you know, we've seen it time and time again. Sean Langton just keeping this cool. Started back in 13th. Worked his way up through the field. Dodged some wrecks. Dodged some lap cars. Worked the field strategies. Worked the pits. With 15 laps left, he's working the lead. Looking like he's going to wrap it up. Kyle Stewart going to the inside. Lap down car of the 41 goes to the bottom. Gets his lap back the old-fashioned way in the 14th position. That'll now put Dylan Bryant as the first car lap down if we get a caution. 74, Brian Hennings behind him. Not much separating these guys. About 1.5 seconds. There could be a battle for the lucky dog position. But through the field here, Sean Langton, Nicholas Pressey, Morgan Cook, Larry Dickerson, and Todd Cleveland, your top 5. Luke Daniels, Dan Witt, Justin Ritchie, Thad Miller, and Chris Klein, your top 10. And shout out to Thad Miller, putting it all together here tonight. He's got a pretty sizable gap back there to Chris Klein of 4.5 seconds. And he's got an even bigger gap than that. Chris Klein going to be under fire to Garrett Homlinger. If Thad Miller holds on to this, he could get a top 10 finish for the night. All right, lap 119 started here in the books. Sean Langton going to lead 118. Pulls that lead out to 3.9 seconds. Approaching some lap traffic, might hold him up a little bit, but there's enough cushion there that I think the 8 car has all but done it and wrapped this thing up. Morgan Cook back here in the 2nd spot. Started in 1st. Kind of fell off. Might have been saving a little bit too much there in that first run, and that got him pinned back there outside the top 5 for a brief moment. Finds himself back up here in the top 3 in the closing stages of this race. Could have been Morgan Cook's race tonight. But here he is, 2nd position. Larry Dickerson back in 3rd. Because really, this top 3 hasn't changed much. Sean Langton would be the odd man out as far back as he started. Missed the setup in qualifying, figured it out here tonight at the racetrack. That track temperature back down to 68 degrees. You're seeing a similarity to what these guys were used to driving on when this race began. 64 degrees for the air temperature. That sun is completely down. We're completely under the lights. Nicholas Pressey in 4th position. He's led some laps here tonight. He got 13 laps led. Trying to bring it home in the top 5. And then 2.3 seconds back is Todd Cleveland in the 5th position, trying to snag it away from Nicholas Pressey. So pretty big spread here for this top 5, and we've been green all the way through this thing. A lot of quality racing here tonight at Kentucky Speedway. Morgan Cook, Larry Dickerson going at it for the 2nd position with 7 to go. The crossover, the 51, back down to the bottom. Larry's got a little bit fresher tires, but that 51's been running in clean air for a lot longer. Dickerson had to work his way up to the 51 through a lot of different vehicles. Here they are side by side into 1 and 2 off the exit. Still a drag race down the back straightaway. Morgan Cook holding it down there, trying to get by him. Gonna lose the nose there on the exit of 4, and the 69's gonna pull away. Back to 3rd for Morgan Cook. He's not gonna go down without a fight though, with 5 to go. Can he get the momentum back in his favor? You know, Cook started on the pole. He would like to at least get a 2nd place finish out of this. Inaugural season defending champion here at VSRL. The take back 2nd spot from Larry Dickerson just doesn't have the mustard in. I think the tires are all but like going this 51. He's been running a little bit lower line. He's got to stay out of that dirty air. The 69 machine, there's a good run off of 2. But he gives it back in 3 and 4, and that's just the tires right there. Oh, and he's getting tight. You can hear it. Had to lift out of the throttle on the exit. I think Larry Dickerson's going to pull away from the 51. Coming up on 3 to go, Sean Langton passes the 21 of Garrett Helmlinger. Now to take 2 to go. Sean Langton gets off the corner perfectly. We'll check back in here with this battle that was going on for 2nd place just a moment ago. Looks like they've spread out pretty considerably. Todd Cleveland gets around Nicholas Pressey for the 5th position, or 4th spot rather. Brad Miller's going to hold on to 9th for tonight. Kyle Sturt into the top 10. Nice recovery for him. Where's that 24 Dakota Floyd? He's back in the 14th position. 1 lap down. Garrett Helmlinger, the first car a lap down. But it doesn't matter here because we've got the white flag out. Final lap around this place for Sean Langton. He's been doing it all season long. Sneaking up from behind, 13th to 1st. Coming off of turn 4. Orange Speed Machine. Winner here tonight. Orange Speed on the track. Orange Speed on the hood. And Sean Langton gets it done. Second position goes to Larry Dickerson. Morgan Cook third. This guy right here, he feels like he passed 100 cars to work his way up there. Ross Phillips might have been the only thing in his way. And Phillips gets loose on the exit of 4. John Langton there to capitalize on it. Down the front straightaway here to do some burnouts. Let's burn it down with the 8 machine of Sean Langton, your winner here tonight. Post-race interviews with your top 3. We're going to bring them all the way up from pit road into the broadcast booth, and then we'll talk to your winner, Sean Langton, right after this.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Wow, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Bluegrass State at Kentucky. The conclusion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take you through that finishing order real quick before we pull that top 3 up here. John Langton getting it done with Larry Dickerson, Morgan Cook, your top 3. Todd Cleveland, Nicholas Pressey, Luke Daniels, Dan Witt, Justin Ritchie, Thad Miller, and Kyle Stewart, your top 10. Great finish for Thad Miller. First top 10, I believe, maybe of this season. I mean, he might have snuck one out there at Homestead. Adam Tips going to be your first car in 11th. In the second stint here, first car a lap down will be Garrett Helmlinger in the 12th position. Then down through the board, we got Dakota Floyd, Ross Phillips, Brian Hennings, Mark Math, Dylan Bryant, Chris Klein, Sean Bounty, and Nicholas Fontenot. Your top 20. 21st spot's going to go to Brian Watkins, and Joseph Selig's going to be in the 22nd position. And then yours truly showing up there on the board for no reason at all. We're going to have an interview here. We got to get this down on pit road and catch up with your top 3. First guy we're going to talk to here tonight, there he is, third place finisher Morgan Cook. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Man, I tell you what, you started up on the pole there tonight, and it looked like maybe that first stint, track tip, or were you just saving tires? Something happened there. You fell all the way back to like the 6th position, and we were kind of wondering what happened, but you were able to recover and get it back up into the top 3 before the end.
Yeah, we're saving. Big time saving. Goal of this, I didn't think I was going to qualify in the top 15. and got the pole. Wanted to lead the first lap, get the bonus point, and then whatever happened happened. Fell back to 6th, like you said. We were saving stuff because the truck came to life on that second stint when I didn't take tires. Balance was really good, and picked them up and put them down. Moved up into the top 5, and here we are.
Yeah, it was looking like the tire strategies were going to play a role. Some of these guys electing to take tires on their first 2 stops, and that might have been another factor too. You were just able to do a better job without taking tires on that second stint.
Yeah, it's a really difficult. It's a debate that we have to have as drivers. Do we want to have the tires early, or do we want to have them at the end? And you never know when the cautions are going to come out. That's the tricky part. If you get a late race caution and you've taken your 2 sets already, well, you're done, right? You're a lap down, you're a couple laps down because you're going to be so slow. But if you save a set for the end, you have a chance if a late caution comes out. And that was the intent. That's what we did. We saved them both for the end, and it worked out for us.
We talked a little bit earlier to Ryan Depew about OrangeSpeed, and while we have you up here, we'll put the QR code up there on the screen again for anybody who would like to get involved. What is your take? Because I heard a story earlier in the broadcast about how you guys met, and that to me shows a lot of patience as a race car driver to get run over like that.
Yeah, we had a really good battle for, I don't know if it was for 4th or for 3rd in the officials IndyCar at Daytona, and he got me. I pulled ahead of him on the backstretch and stopped way off the racing line down on the apron, and I look up and there's a big ball of orange coming at me, and yeah, he sent
Suddenly
the apology.
it was in your lap.
What's that?
I said suddenly he was in your lap there.
He was more than in my lap. Yeah. Then we got the talk, and he apologized and sent me the invite to the VSRL Open Wheel League, which and then invite to the team, and the rest is history.
He hit you on purpose.
Probably, yeah.
Yep. Well, sometimes that's how you got to meet people. You got to break the ice, literally.
You bet.
But Morgan Cook getting it done here in 3rd position here tonight, and anybody SRT OrangeSpeed, thank you for your time. Do you have anybody else you'd like to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yeah, teammates. Sean helped me get the pole, and Sean and I were talking strategy that whole way through the race. Ross was working with me at the beginning until he checked out. Unfortunately, he had incidents with a slower car. Got to thank Southeast Tutoring, as always, primary sponsor of my truck and of the league. Go to setutoring.ca. Also got to thank Apex Sim Racing, affiliate of OrangeSpeed. If you're looking for a button box or a dash, head over to orangespeed.net. Go to the affiliate links, Apex Sim Racing, and buy yourself a nice button box or dash. So I think that's all I got.
That was professionally done. Did you rehearse that, or?
I've been doing sponsor plugs every NIS race. Just ask Kyle.
Well done. Well done. Just couldn't have said it better. Morgan Cook, 3rd place finisher. Congratulations, man. And we look forward to next week with you.
You bet. See you then.
All right. There he is right there. And that was well done. Okay. I like to talk, but that guy did a great job with that. So moving on to your 2nd place finisher, Larry Dickerson. And man, I'm just going to come out and say it. You didn't have to hit anybody to get there tonight. Good job, Larry.
I know. I didn't have to hit anybody. I came close a couple times. Some people came off the wall and came down and caught me off guard. But didn't have to hit nobody tonight.
No, man. Yeah, that tire strategy you had, it was working for you. And I thought maybe, but it was just 2 laps in that last stint compared to one. There was the second stint where you were like 10 lap fresher tires than everybody. But yeah, on that last pit stop, you just almost had to come down pit road when you did. It just wouldn't make sense at that point to stay out any longer.
Yeah, I was. Deshaun being out in front, I know that next to last run when I came up there and I passed Morgan for second the first time, I can get it down to 2.5 seconds, and then he would just keep it right there like he was toying with me. And I was debating the short pit that last run, but then I didn't want to short pit, put myself possibly short on gas after I had a good run. And then also, if I short pit, he's going to turn around on a longer run, depending on when he pits, and just eat me alive and catch me at the end anyway and probably beat me. So it was I kind of was put in a pickle with their strategy him and Morgan was doing. But at the end of the day, I can't complain. I get a podium. I get to talk to you again.
Yeah.
Uh, and it helps out with the points cause if I do run next week, I'm gonna be a starting part cause dirt's not my thing. So I think I'll be safe on the points till the playoffs start to make it missing one race.
Well, dirt's not really in my wheelhouse either, so I can't blame you there. But second place here tonight, you were on a great strategy, clean and green all 130 laps, and it was a long race, 195 miles, and you kept it shiny side up, Larry.
Oh yeah, it was stressful, but that's what you look for in leagues, especially in this league, just like with the other leagues I run with you. These guys, they're great racers. They're all very clean. I know, like I said, I had a dust up last week at the end of the race at Northwest Road with one or two people, and that's everybody knows me. That's not my driving style. I'm aggressive, but I don't try to touch anybody. The past couple weeks it seems like I have a habit of hitting people. Um,
I don't know what you
uh,
mean.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either. But everybody in here is great racers. Garrett puts on a hell of a league. I enjoy this and just have a blast racing with everybody, and can't wait to race with you Wednesday night.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And Larry, one more thing before we let you go. You got 6 laps led here. You're looking good in the points. What is in store for us next week? Well, you said you were going to start in park at the dirt
Yeah.
track. So then what we got Talladega, and I know you know how to get around that place.
Yes, sir. I look forward to Talladega, but you know how Talladega is. It's avoiding the wrecks and knowing how to see where the momentum's carrying each line and jumping in the right line at the right time and just having a good cooperation with everybody that you're in line with to make a good run at the end and get a good strong finish, maybe a win.
Well, while we still got you up here, you got anybody you'd like to shout out for second place here tonight?
Oh yeah, first off, I want to thank my wife for putting up with me doing this. I know she sometimes gets mad at me for yelling and screaming when I get aggravated, but she puts up with it. So shout out to my wife. Shout out to Sean. Hell of a run. He deserves it. He caught me off guard and got me at the end. And shout out to Morgan too. I had a blast racing with Morgan there at the end for second, and I just love racing with these guys. Shout out to my teammate Dylan and my teammate Chris. They were all on some weird strategy tonight. They were trying something different, and it didn't work out for them. They unfortunately, I think, both ran out of gas on the last lap, and I know they finished a couple laps down. And then Dylan also, I think he got in a wreck too with Chris. But shout out to my teammates. Shout out to Garrett for putting on his league. I have a blast running it, and look forward to it every Monday night. Shout out to you, man, for your awesome broadcasting. It's nice. I don't get to talk to you that much when on podiums. But when I do, it's a blast, man. You do a hell of a job doing the broadcast.
Appreciate that.
And I still got to keep voting you for driver of the day.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be kind of hard with me racing against you Wednesday. So maybe
Yeah.
you still get driver of the day, or one of us get driver of the day, and the other one gets podium.
I don't know,
or-
man. Just keep it shiny side up. That's what we try to do, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a predicament out to say we both Wednesday night gonna be on podiums. How about that?
All right. Well, that works. Just turn one. Just look out. I
Got it.
use my brakes from time to time. I got a new pedal set, so we'll see how it
Alright.
goes.
All right,
But
I'll make
Larry-
sure I look out for that. But also my sponsors, LA Construction, JP Designs for my paint jobs, and my biggest sponsor, Angelman Syndrome Foundation. Again, I run these for raising awareness as a form of autism that affects people differently. But not only that, if you can help with any form of autism, I got families with autism, and if you can donate to any form or charity that goes towards autism, you'll be doing a great cause for a wonderful group of people. And yeah, and that's gonna be it for me.
Well, Larry Dickerson, second place finisher here tonight, and the starting park, but we'll see you at Talladega.
All right, see you at Talladega.
All right, one more guy in this show, and it's the one that got it done all the way around this place. He put it up there in the front, right at the last end of the race, and 37 laps led here tonight. Sean Langton, I've been talking to you a lot lately. Congrats on the winner.
Hey, thank you.
So, Sean, you had Ross Phillips up there, and it seemed like he was going to be the only guy in the way. And then that little tango with I don't know if it was a slower car. You got a little loose off of 4. The seas parted, and you just had the right strategy at the right time. Took the lead over.
Yeah, he got caught up in someone else's mess, it looked like. I think he had the best car, definitely. I really worked hard on the first 15 laps of the race to save the right front, and I think that's what kind of got me in the position I was, and went from there. We learned something in 3 and 4 as the race went on. As the car got tighter, we started using the brake a little bit, brushing the brakes, and it really got us down to the yellow line. I think that's what saved me. I figured that out about halfway through.
Yeah, it was adapting and overcoming the track rubbering up. Pretty cold track here tonight, about 68-degree track temperature. When you started this race back at 13th, did you think that you were going to get up here in the front? We had that tango there at lap 5 that just threw the whole field apart.
Yeah, I'm not that good at this combination. It was a tight setup, and I prefer a loose setup. So I just really couldn't do nothing with it. And I knew I didn't have the raw speed, so my only strategy was just to save tires and just try and have a better right front tire than all the rest of the guys. And we worked as a team on strategy on when to come in, when to short pit on that last one. And it worked out.
Worked out well, and it's very helpful to have teammates out there. Even if their race goes bad, they're still out there helping you and talking strategy. Sean Langton getting it done again here at VSRL. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, we had to get the title sponsor, OrangeSpeed, Southeast Tutoring, and Victory Lane. Glad we did it. Really proud to run for this team. A lot of good guys. Thanks, Ryan, Garrett, Morgan, Ross, Kyle, all these guys. We're having a good time. Say hi to my parents. They're watching. And thank you for broadcasting.
Well, next week, USA International Dirt Track. Good luck out there. And I don't know the likelihood. I know a lot of guys don't like dirt, but we hope to see you back up here in the broadcast booth next week.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Race winner Sean Langton. There's burning it down one more time with him. On the front stretch. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast presented by VSRL Truck Series, the SET Southeast Tutoring, and OrangeSpeed SRT. If you guys like this broadcast, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss a single race here at VSRL. This VSPEED will be bringing you USA International Dirt April 24th at 9 p.m. And tomorrow night, we have BTDY live on VSPEED at 8:35 Eastern p.m. time. If you guys can make it to that as well. For myself, Adam Baker, and everybody that works here at VSPEED, Garrett Homelinger, VSRL, and this whole truck series. Thank you for your time tonight. Take care and have a good one.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Lionel. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Lyle gets burned.
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.